10 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! My name is Dragon Drop, and this is the first match of a doubleheader between Vega Squadron and Navi here in WePlay League Season 3. Of course, this is a double best of one round robin format. That means each team plays each other twice. And this is just one instance where the teams agreed that they want to play both their matches right after the others. So this is game one, gonna be followed by another game. But before we talk more about that, let me introduce my co-caster for tonight, which is none other than Android Annie. How do you like it? How are you doing, Annie?
Hi, I'm doing really good. You can call me Annie or Android. I'm fine with either. And I am super excited to be here. These best of ones have been super intense, and now we get to see 2 in a row, Navi versus Vega. That's about as big as it gets, and I cannot wait to see it unfold.
Absolutely. As far as CS Dota goes, this is one of the better matchups that you can have. Of course, the last time that we saw that was a couple of days ago in Dota Pit. I was actually casting that with Ryu. And yeah, Vega not looking too shabby starting off with here. Also, in the second game, they did pick up the Invoker first for the lineup here, but at the end of the day, Navi, just with a swifter and cleaner execution, ended up taking the 2-0 win in that 2-game series. So, Navi maybe the slight favorites here, but Vega can't count them out. Not by a long shot here. They pick up the Invoker, as I said. They pick up the Nature's Prophet. So a lot of push, decent amount of team fight already. Also some early pickup here if you think about Nature's Prophet able to beat that +1 with the teleport and then the Invoker with the Sunstrike. But hey, Navi, they pick up the Chen, they pick up the General Batrider, and well, that's the hero that this guy knows how to run. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. These picks have been coming out really, really fast, especially for, a best-of-1 tournament where it all, comes down to one game. I'm loving that we have an Invoker, Nature's Prophet, Shen, and Batrider. Those are both really in-demand heroes this patch. I know Vega can run Invoker very, very well mid. They have a pretty nice win rate on Nature's Prophet as well. But I'm loving the off-lane Batrider pickup here for Navi. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it matches up against a safe lane.
Yeah, and just the fact that you have that hero already for that initiation, especially up against a slippery hero like the Nature's Prophet, it kind of makes it also harder for Vega to move into that kind of split pushing kind of lineup. Because the Nature's Prophet is never going to feel particularly safe if he knows that there's a Batrider who's going to have a blink, perhaps a 4-star at that point to catch up to him. Or even the Sprout doesn't really save you at all. So this is something that Vega Squadron will not necessarily be able to fall back on. At the same time, Batrider is one of these heroes that where it doesn't really we don't really care if you get zoned out of lane, because then you can just run into the jungle. In this game though, of course, with the Chen kind of occupying that for a bit, he will need to get something out of that lane, and Vega Squadron, they have yet to show what kind of carry and what kind of defensive duo or tri-lane they want to bring out. If that is the plan in the first place, yeah, I might as well just put the Nature's Prophet there up against the Batrider, not the worst matchup, and go for an aggro try. I mean, still on the table, even though some of the better heroes to go with that, like the Vengeful Spirit, have already been taken out.
Yeah, I know Vengeful Spirit, I think who likes to pick that up. It's going to be Seema that likes to pick up Vengeful Spirit, but we still have heroes like Chen is already picked up, and AA is actually something Vega Squadron have been running a little bit. They're putting it on solo. They ran it a lot during the Shanghai Majors, but so did a lot of other teams. Still in the pool, I think still a little bit viable here. It'll prevent the healing from Chen's Hand to God if Vega Squadron want to allow it the farm, the time to just get that level 6.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst option, and also a solid lane support here. With the right combo, you can run it aggressively, you can run it defensively, just because if you have any sort of setup, like a Wraith King with the 2-second stun that he has available, that means that you have plenty of damage just from the Chilling Touch among 3 heroes. But gonna go a little bit more defensive for now. It's the Oracle. So that's actually a really, really good counter to the Batrider. I'm kind of surprised that Navi was letting that one slip through the second banning phase, honestly.
Yeah, I like the Oracle here. I think Oracle offers a lot of control in team fights. The pacing is fantastic. You've got the heal and also kind of a nuke with the Purifying Flames. The ultimate, obviously, able to just kind of YOLO on one of your heroes, let them do all their damage before they go down. Can even be used to save people if you use it right. I'm seeing Oracle as kind of the replacement for Winter Wyvern this patch, in a sense. Winter Wyvern used to be the person to go and kind of pause the team fights, keep the heroes alive, and Oracle replaces that. But if I know Navi, they might actually pick up a Winter Wyvern here as well. We still see them drafting it for comfort, even though it has fallen out of favor this patch.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of forgot about the hero ever since the nerf to the ultimate because it can still be good, but it's not as universally good as it was anymore. And that's maybe putting people off. And then they instead pick up something like an Oracle, which is not just kind of replacement for Winter Wyvern, but also for the Dazzle, I would say. Just because if you look at the False Promise, it's sort of like an upgraded version of the Shallow Grave that has a chance to heal you and even last longer. So, yeah, he fits in a lot of lineups here in that defensive role, just as you said, keeping carries alive, especially if you think about an Invoker who can be bursted down if he gets caught off guard, or even other heroes like an OD, which we probably won't see in this draft, but just keep it in the back of the mind. And well, there's the Bane for Na'Vi, so that's as solid as lane support as it gets. Can stabilize the middle lane for Dendi, but can also, of course, help this safe lane here, as Shen will probably be roaming around, not really staying in lane for too long. So now, depending on where they need that Bane, he can help out wherever that leaves the carry as well as the mid position for Na'Vi open. So who are you thinking here, actually?
For the carry on Na'Vi?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we could see, something really fancy, like maybe even a Spectre, now that there's Babysitter available, Bane obviously able to go and really control the pace of a lane. I'm thinking Bane is going to be more of a roaming support, ganking mid a lot. I know this patch really benefits Dendi because he's one of those really aggressive mid heroes. He's going to go in, he's going to get help, he's going to get early kills, and hopefully snowball out of control. So Bane, I don't know if we're going to see him strictly sticking to the safe lane, but well, if he does, they've got the farm they need for a Spectre.
Yeah. Wouldn't hate that actually, because you have that extra bit of, okay, they're gonna go for the Sven instead. That's the second hero that I would have wanted to bring up, as we have seen it in the last couple of games as well, from both teams really. But yeah, Spectre would have gelled very nicely with the Batrider, just with the Bane or Chen even, just setting something up for him to come in, swoop in, get the kill with the ultimate and then get back out again. But gonna go for the Sven, so a little bit more brute force, a little bit more in your face, and I don't hate that. A lot extra more disable. I mean, they have a decent amount already with the Batrider and the Bane, both going through BKB. Then you have a Sven with an AoE stun and a ridiculous amount of physical damage output potential. And yeah, with that you have a lineup. All you really need is maybe a mid like a Queen of Pain, which is unfortunately banned out, but something along those lines. Maybe even a Lina, just to provide a little bit of extra magical damage to the fray to carry you through the mid game.
I know none of us are going to forget the mid-drow that was picked up for Dendi a couple matches ago. Do you think that's something that's maybe a little bit in the pool? I see that Vega Squadron, they're branding out OD, but I mean, drow might not be the worst thing to happen.
Yes. At the same time, I feel like it's too squishy up against the Invoke and Nature's Prophet kind of being able to just run at you. There's still the Oracle that you can silence up, I guess. So if you are confident in your drow play, you can probably get away with it, but I'd rather see a little bit more of a playmaking hero for Dendi, honestly.
Well, yeah, very fair.
We'll find out.
Absolutely. Vega's down. Vega's down to their last pick. Looks like they still need a safe laner, a big, nice carry. Who's going to be their hard hitter?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, they could think about a Spectre themselves, but I wouldn't necessarily leave them too thin a lane. You do have the Oracle to keep you safe throughout the game as well. Yeah, who else? Reserve time. Kind of, maybe something more tanky though as well, because you have the Batrider, you have the Bane. With that amount of lockdown, you kind of want to be able to sustain up against that, or defend against it in some sense.
Yeah, I mean, Anti-Mage is still in the pool, and obviously he's loved because he farms so fast, but yeah, clearly not going to go that way. Ember Spirit's the play.
Yeah. I mean, no one's going to leave me now, but I had it on the tip of a tongue, then I thought about it, and I was like, no, okay, they're probably not going to pick that, because you have a Bane, you have a Batrider, some of the best lockdown available, but then again, as I said before, as we both said before, do have the Oracle, and that negates, has the potential to negate so much of it. Ember Spirit also one of these heroes that can build a Lincoln Sphere if necessary, and in this game it is definitely necessary. And once you have that, well, Batrider Bane, sure, you can initiate, but can you initiate fast enough before the Ember Spirit can run it out again? Well, that's a late game secured for sure, but the Earthshaker for Na'Vi, that's actually Dendi Batrider as a result of that here. In general, picking up the Earthshaker for the off lane, so this all of a sudden got very, very interesting.
That is not what I was expecting. I was expecting Bat offlane played by General, but I'm liking this pick. Bat Rider is such an aggressive hero. He's able to go in. Once he hits level 6, he can drag whoever he wants all over the field. I really, really like this. I just hope he's going to get enough space to, not die in the first couple of minutes, and then he can certainly snowball out of control.
And I was thinking about more magic damage for Dandy in mid, but I guess it kind of works in a similar way. You have the Earthshaker with not just lockdown, but also the potential for a big burst of magic damage to kind of complement the rest of your lineup. Even more lockdown, even more control for Sven to take advantage of. And it just seems like a well-rounded lineup there from Na'Vi. If they can get off the ground, if they can put on pressure on the Invoker and on the Ember Spirit, then Vega might not have the easiest time. But yeah,
well,
standard CIS pulse coming out gives us a chance to once again introduce ourselves here. My name is DragonDrop, bringing you this first game between Na'Vi and Vega. We're gonna have a second one right after, so even if this one comes to a close, there's still more great Dota for you. And I'm joined by none other than Android, or also known as Annie. But don't ever call her M. She doesn't like that.
I don't get that angry, I promise.
Oh yeah, you say that now, but I know you. I know better. I know better. But yeah, Vega versus Na'Vi. Everyone's picking their heroes. Everyone's reconnecting. So let's take a quick look at our lineups. On the side of Vega, on the other side, we've got Solo playing that Oracle, Mag on the Nature's Prophet, probably heading to the offlane. No one on that mid Invoker. Seema on the Witch Doctor, and that leaves Pasha on that one position Ember Spirit.
Well, down here on the Radiant side, we've got none other than Na'Vi. Here in the mid, we've got General, going to be playing the Earthshaker, probably in the offlane position. We're going to have Ditya Ra on the carry Sven, still in the base. We have Artstyle on the Chen. Dendi is going to be playing the Bat Rider. And up here, we've got Seneko on the Bane.
Alright, so looking at these lineups, who do you give the laning advantage to?
I'm thinking if Vega can drag it past 30 minutes, it's going to be their game, because I think Sven can easily be locked down enough to take out most of the damage out of Navi's pool, but it really depends if the Ember Spirit's able to get the kills in the farm he needs. If he gets punished by the Bane, by the Earthshaker ganks, then I don't know if Vega can pull this one out.
We'll find out. I mean, Earthshaker, it's one of these kind of off-lanes where you don't actually see all that often. I mean, normally when we see Earthshaker, it's in a kind of 4 position, trying to roam around, trying to make something happen with the fissures, so he should be able to get a decent amount of levels here if he's not caught out too hard by maybe lucky cast bounce or Oracle being able to channel up a good fortunes, and he has to be careful, and there's a chance that he'll actually get zoned out completely if these supports from Vega decide they want to put on a lot of emphasis on that. And well, the question is, does that really matter at the same time? Because you have Dandy on the middle lane who can kind of pick up the slack, who can create space for the Earthshaker to get his level 6 later if necessary. So as long as Na'Vi don't die, I feel like they should be in a good position to head into the middle game.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the runes going a 1-1 split. No real contest so far, so no early first bloods. Just going to see everyone kind of get into their lanes and getting set up for a great match.
Yes, the Treant apocalypse already starting.
Absolutely.
Well, they get one last hit. Nah, just expired before Seneko could get last hit too. That's annoying. But yeah, this drag back on creep wave. Kind of makes it a little bit hard for Ditya Ra to actually last hit. Looks like they want to use another creeps here. Actually drag some of them back. I don't know what's going on.
Here in the mid lane, we've got Solo just in the mid lane harassing the crap out of Dendi. He's already been using that Fortune's End just to try to get him low. In fact, Dendi might be going in here. Everyone's getting kind of low in this mid lane.
That's something that we haven't talked about yet, but it's something that you have to consider. The Fortune's End. Oh, Hustle actually coming in already here with Satyr, and he hits the new gun to Solo, forcing him back. So there's a couple of tangos to play with. But of course, no one doesn't want to give over the self to an easy support like him. But yeah, up against a Bat Rider, obviously you want to have sticks, and Invoker starts off with the magic wand all the way up to 10 charges, so he's not going to die anytime soon. But the Fortune's End also able to purge away the sticky napalm, takes away so much from the Bat Rider laning potential.
Absolutely. Now we've got a rotation in by the Chen. I don't think anything fancy is going to come of this, as Chen only has the Holy Persuasion leveled, and he's got a little Satyr buddy, but yeah, I think this is just going to be kind of a stalemate mid, unless the Satyr's going to go deep here onto Solo.
Well, Atsa doing a good job. It recognizes that Dendi needs some help here, and well, Satyr is actually a decent creep to do that with. You do have that plus 6 health regen aura actually, so That kind of eliminates the need for some regen here, and also the nuke. You have 6 times 140 damage, or 60 even. That's a little bit short now, no one gets hit by that, but as I said, he has 17 charges right now, he's not gonna go down anytime soon, but perhaps with Snake coming in, might be able to burst him down. They do have a brain tap here, pops it out, there's the first blood! Can't even get the snake charges off, did not quite expect that kind of commitment here, but now Solo might be the next one on the list. There's a Nightmare coming out, a couple of right clicks with the flame break. That's 2 heroes down just like that. Chen will be the trade as Mac comes in, trying to pick up the slack, but now he might be in trouble. There's still a creep running around. Does not have enough mana for another nuke though, unfortunately. Otherwise Mac might have been dead already, but General ultimate his way in here somehow, looking for the kill. No mana for Fissure though, so it looks like the Nature's Prophet will be able to make it out. With Solo and no one both coming back from dead already.
That is the power of this Navi draft. They can just go in, they can stay in. The only problems we saw there were just mana regen problems. Earthshaker having no mana for a Fissure, Bane having no mana for another Nightmare. So once they get their mana regen up, I see no reason why Navi can't just dive into Vega over and over again and secure the mid game for themselves.
A good start getting the first blood, especially in this kind of middle lane, where you would expect no one on Solo to do quite well here. Like an Invoker, one of the better mid heroes, especially up against a Batrider who can do some things, but we have talked about it, it's being kind of negated by the Oracle, but yeah, there's some good aggressive rotations there from a lot of Navi heroes though. Oh, they're gonna go again perhaps onto Dendy here with the cold snap. Sunstrike, he almost flies into it. Doesn't end up doing so, but the nuke from Soul and an extra couple of right clicks will be able to turn around.
Yeah, no one's doing pretty well in this lane. He has a death, but now 2 kills to his name. He's feeling pretty confident here.
Mac, he gets hit by the Stormhammer. Snakeo does have the Nightmare, pops it out now. A little bit of extra damage and should be able to finish it off with a brain tap. No, not quite. Digirad did not quite get the right clicks in, but well, Snakeo able to pick up the slack with 1 right click of his own to finish the job.
Yeah, absolutely. One hero we haven't talked about so much is General here in the off lane. He's definitely holding his own. He's a little weak on last hits, hasn't really been able to get up into the wave as much as he wants, but definitely been doing a great job rotating. We saw him in that mid lane.
Speaking of rotation,
hold on here, Dendy.
Once again, yeah, coming on Dendy. No one has 4 napalm stacks on him. That's not gonna be enough. A couple of right clicks though. Dendy this time around, he will barely be able to make it away, but can't actually stay in this lane for much longer. So Neko actually coming in to try and help. Solo dropping low to a tower shot. So if you got caught by Nightmare there, if Bane had the mana, then he would have been dead for sure. But not the case. Meanwhile in the bottom lane, Artstyle going in deep with a couple of creeps. He eats his way through the trees with Mag and see the Slayer. They want to go in deeper here, but think twice about it with heals coming up from Witch Doctor. A little bit too much to deal with.
Yeah, looking at the last hit chart, Ditya is way at the top. He's feeling really confident in himself. He's top of the net worth chart as well, I believe. So he's got now that Morbid Mask, going to be going for the lifesteal build. I think Ditya has had just so much space here in the bottom, and he's on track to have a really powerful mid game.
Top tower is
kind of trade-off is that Pasha on the top lane on the Ember Spirit also got as much free farm as Sven did actually. Similar amount of last hits, and the question is, who's gonna be more aggressive? Because I feel like both of these heroes have the potential to contribute a whole lot to the mid game, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Sven's just going to take a little bit more farm. Yeah, he's tanky, yeah, he's big, but he doesn't really have a whole ton of damage until he gets a couple items. Here we're going to have Seneko initiating here onto Mag. I think this is just casual harass, but we've got Sven going in, has the Stormhammer ready, is going to cast it. Mag is going to be going down here. A couple more last hits will do it, and Seneko's on a killing spree. Fantastic rotation in by that Bane, setting up the kills, making sure that Nature's Prophet does not have enough space to get the farm he needs.
Yeah, that's just the strength of Nightmare up against any sort of solo hero with any sort of follow-up. I mean, we've all, in the past, we've seen like the Bane Mirana combos, these kind of cheesy things, even Bane Leshrac. But Bane Sven with the 2-second stun from the Stormhammer is just as good, right? You do have a lot of damage to play with, and they've been able to make that work with the long disabled setup from the Nightmare.
We've got Dendy heading back to the mid lane. He's got his bottle. He's got another 600 gold ready to go. So, yeah, he's not top of the net worth chart, but he's feeling pretty comfortable here. Dendy, we know, has a very aggressive playstyle, but he could be punished for this as Seema is in the trees waiting to cast that paralyzing cask, and he could get stunned up for a little longer than he can handle.
Dendy might not expect that, but at the same time, there's very little solo kill potential up against an Invoker. Even without any sort of setup, so don't think Danny will think about going in as deep as would be necessary for Sima to come in. But now Vega putting things into their own hands. But generals, they're tightening rotation to stop that in its tracks, and now they want to do no. Okay, they only have the Gen creep here, the Harpy Stormcrafter. What the more annoying creeps to deal with if you're if you face up with it in the early laning stage.
Yeah, there's just been so many resources focused up in this mid lane. We've got the Oracle, now we've got General sitting here, just kind of babysitting Na'Vi, making sure things don't go too bad for Dendy. And I mean, both towers are still up, but this has been where all the kills have been focused so far, except for one in the bot lane.
Speaking of bot lane, Pasha are rotating in. Not sure if they want to make something happen. They do not have any smoke, but Oracle just picked one up. It's gonna be a while until we get to those, so I don't know about this rotation. Pasha could have found maybe 1 or 2 extra creep waves here, and now might even be found out by Ditchura.
I'll take that.
So Neko needs to be very
anything.
careful here.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna see the Fortune and cast now. Ember Spirit going in, Pasha's going in, he's got the Searing Chain, so it's gonna be a Sunstrike as well. Seneko getting very, very low. One more lash will do it. He does end up going down. Ember Spirit gets the kill for that, courtesy of his Flame Guard. And now the tier 1 tower's under siege. Na'Vi immediately gonna spend the Fortify. There's so many heroes. I think this tower's going down.
It should be. At the same time, they only got the Bane with that rotation. So ideally you want to have want to get Sven there, but Ditchura maybe he felt something in his bones that something like that was happening. At the same time, top lane, look at General. He's been able to use his base. He's got a level 6 now. He's getting a couple of much needed last hits here as well, getting him closer to the Blink Dagger after the arcane roots have already been finished. Speaking of Blink, Batrider probably also in his mind here, and Sima will not get caught out, but will be zoned away from the tower, so yeah, even that is a trade at the end of the day. So Na'Vi still looking quite good overall. Vega need to make something more happen here.
Yeah, I mean, this bottom tower going down was really huge. Of course, they lost the Bane, but also just the tier 1 tower going down opens up the jungle a lot to Vega. They can now get in without being spotted out, without being punished so hard, so Na'Vi really need to keep the wards up there and make sure they're not giving up too much of their map.
Oh, Dandy. He's trying to farm the enemy jungle. Yeah, Mud Golem's not exactly the easiest to farm for Batrider now. He sees Pasha unable to actually make something out of it, but at the very least then he's not caught out.
Pasha gonna be finding General here.
Can actually solo kill him though. There's a little bit of lockdown from General. Does have the Echo Slam as well if necessary. Remnants out before Danny can get in range for anything. Didn't quite have the mana for the lasso anyway, but he would have with the stick charges. Solo, Fortune's in. There's the arcane rune. That's nice to have on Dandy here, but pay with not paying the price. Alright. Mag thought about teleporting in there, but ended up not doing so.
Dendy's hunting. He has the Arcane Rune. He's going in. He's gonna get Solo's gonna get stunned up now, but Seema's here, pops out the Paralyzing Cask, trying to just mitigate any damage coming out. We're gonna see Nature's Prophet rotating in, and Dendy could be in some trouble here.
It could be. Cold Snap will reach him from no one here on the other side, and Hand of God comes out, but it's not enough to actually keep him safe, so I was wondering when this aggressive posturing from both teams would result in a kill, and this was it. Dendy just overstaying his welcome a little bit. Gets caught at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I know Navi's an aggressive player, but he needs to tone it down just a little bit, because, you know, Batrider, he's great at going into the initiations, but he's got to live long enough to get all his spells off.
This would have been time better spent actually farming your own jungle or kind of stacking up, so you can go closer and closer to your Blink Dagger. As it stands right now, sometimes you see Batriders even in the offlane have the Blink by now. Then he's still about 1,000 gold away. Of course, a little bit of a different situation out of mid and whatnot, but now Navi looking to be more aggressive instead of less. Ditchura joining the charge. He does have an Armlet to help him with the damage output. It's Nego leading the charge. You just need to find an opening, but no. Vega? Seems like they know what's up. They're not really going too far away from the tier 2 tower. As I say, that's Seema moving up to the creep bay, but he's not the target that Navi wants.
Yeah, I mean, this smoke just kind of... wasting a little bit of time around the map, but it's keeping Vega on their toes. They don't know where Na'Vi are right now. They're feeling a little bit scared. They're staying on their side of the map, so Na'Vi just capitalizing a little bit on the fact that, you know, Vega aren't playing as aggressively as they could be.
All this happening though, we see no one. He picked himself up the Midas, so more or less a standard build on Invoker. And with that, he's put himself close to the top of the net worth chart, competing with the Jora. So, where do you see this Invoker go in terms of items right now?
Well, he's got the Midas, so that opens up a lot of doors for him. I mean, I think he's going to go for the classic Yule's build just to help set things up. It'll definitely be great for controlling the pace of these team fights. And here we're going to see some initiation here just on the top tower. General's here with an Invis rune. I don't know if he wants to go in and stop this, though. He has the Echo Slam, but there's going to be no follow-up from other Radiant heroes.
Yeah, and guess why? The other Radiant heroes are busy taking Roshan very early in the game, but Chen, of course, enables you to do that with the ultimate use from Sven too to give it that extra bit of damage boost. So I'm not sure if Vega actually expected that. If they did, maybe they wouldn't have gone for a play like this, because sure, tower against Roshan, it is technically a standard trade. Normally we're talking about tier 2s when that happens, and now, well, Na'Vi have a little bit of extra safety now behind that kind of Sven. He can be more aggressive now. Baja going in anyway here. Teleports galore from Vega. Want to make something happen here. Sneko left alone from Na'Vi as the rest of the team wants to get the hell out. They catch Dandy, who doesn't have actually, didn't have a Firefly to get out after Sprouts. So Vega going in head first, and they catch 2 targets with Na'Vi not actually willing to commit to a team fight despite having the Aegis at their hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like Na'Vi, they got greedy, but they just didn't want to follow up their greed, and they lost 2 heroes that they didn't need to lose. They didn't get the tower down, and, well, yeah, the Roche fell, but I think that's just a little bit too much to lose. You're giving a window to Vega that you don't want them to have, especially with heroes like an Ember and a Nature's Prophet that can benefit so much from having heroes dead around the map.
Now look at Vega, the exercising map control, taking over the Radiant side jungle, swooping through it under the cover of the smoke. Don't quite have any extra wards to place though, unfortunately, but Seema has one. Just plopped it down right now. But yeah. You're exactly right. I mean, that kind of momentum shift that Na'Vi should have had the momentum coming after, coming into the tier 2 after taking down the Roche, but just not committing to a team fight like that when you have the Aegis means that Vega, they feel much better now. They got a couple of kills. They have an Ember Spirit who is a decent item progression here, does have the Boots of Trouble, so his farm rate is gonna be as efficient as possible. And Na'Vi right now, their huddle up is 4 once again. They're not getting much off the map right now.
Yeah, if we look at the net worth breakdown, Sven, he's still number 2, so at least he's getting something out of the map. He's getting his items, he's getting his levels, but Invoker's number 1, followed up by the Ember Spirit and the Nature's Prophet, so Dire, they're getting a lot of space here to get their big cores up.
Gotta ask, what's the trade-off for Na'Vi? We do have Dandy now with a Blink Dagger, so that can shift the momentum around a little bit once again. Level 6 on Bane, of course, has been there for a while. Artstyle has the mechanism, so I guess outside... Oh, actually Earthshake also has Blink now, so I guess that's what they were waiting for before they really commit. But now it looks to me like now we have all the core items, and yeah, that's probably why we see them group up as much as they do, just waiting to jump on Vega. But yeah, well, Vega experienced enough that they know that this is about the time when these crucial items come up. So instead, what they do, they split up the map. They farm on Pasha. They know that the Ember Spirit is the late game trump card. And they're not really going head over heels at all.
Yeah, I mean, Na'Vi, they're hunting for something, but they're not going to find anything just yet. Do you think Na'Vi are spending too much time grouped up? Do you think they're just not spreading their cores out like they need to, securing farm? I mean, they've obviously been looking for ganks and trying to find something, but it seems like they're just not getting it.
Top lane Ditchera. Fortune's Zen will not quite hit thanks to the blink that he's picked himself up as well, but there's plenty of heroes here. There's the Sprout keeping him there momentarily. He is screwed with the Quelling Blade now. Potential turnaround on Pashi takes a lot of damage here, but the Aegis will be triggered first. There's the Fiendscope as well as a Nightmare coming in. Dandy with a follow-up lockdown on Mac, but there's the Solo coming in with a false promise, stopping that from happening. No one's still quite healthy. Solo not so lucky, but now Danny and the cat bounced back on top of the Death Ward here. Ditchera stops him from happening. Seema will get chopped down, maybe not here with the Magnus as well, so heals coming out. Vega still mostly alive. Pasha though, well, he will get stopped by General running right into the fissure. No one's still alive, but he's dropping low, out of mana, out of cooldowns, out of health points, and Ditchera, well, that Aegis definitely helping out in this particular instance. He's being kited more or less by Seam, and can't quite catch up, but the rest of his team helping out with the blinks. And this is locked down to follow up. Mac kind of caught in a bad spot. He should end up falling here, but perhaps a turnaround. No one. They does get the cold snap off on the Earthshaker, so that'll be at least something else they got after all of was said and done. Kind of a long team fight here, but at the end of the day, looks like Na'Vi came out ahead, albeit slightly here. 4 for 3 trade here.
They secure the tower as well. And the tower is a really big advantage here because, again, it opens up the Dire jungle. It makes it so Na'Vi can rotate just a little bit more. And Na'Vi, we've seen them rotating so much this game already. Ditchera grabs his first kill of the game, which is going to help him snowball up just a little bit more. He's been fantastic here. We saw that Aegis definitely bringing him back to life and allowing for Na'Vi to turn that team fight. Otherwise, I think Vega would have had that one completely.
Absolutely. Without Sven there, I mean, he kept licking around, he kept getting some very nasty swipes in, even though sometimes it wasn't enough to actually bring people down. Especially the Witch Doctor, deceptively tanky there in that fight, with the heals constantly going, with the stick charges, saving him not once but twice, I believe. But still, having that extra lockdown, having that extra damage mobility as well from the Warcry was just crucial there. If he didn't have the Aegis there, that would have straight up lost the fight. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, and we're going to see Na'Vi kind of go back to farming. They're still grouped up a fair amount. We've got General here hugging Ditchera like he's his brother. Seneko rotating through as well, and now everyone's just kind of clumping up around Dendi, waiting for him to have the initiation. Dendi's going to be going Force Staff, so that's going to help start things off a little bit. Ultra mobility here with Blink and the Force Staff. So I think Na'Vi, as soon as they get that, they're going to hunt for their next victim.
Even now, he even has a haste rune bottles for a little while, so they managed to find a pickup soon that can also come into play. But for now, gonna try and take control of their own jungle, trying to farm up a little bit, as you said. And Vega, well, do you think they have more pressure under them now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Vega, they're going to try to find something. Their peak hasn't hit yet. Their Ember's not huge. Their Nature's Prophet doesn't have the items that he needs just yet. So Vega know they're at a disadvantage right now, and they're just going to try to stay safe, not give up any more kills, stick to their own side of the map, but that is giving Na'Vi a lot of space to do what they want. We're going to see a triple-man smoke gank here from Invoker, Oracle, and the Witch Doctor. They're going to go hunt in the Radiant jungle. They're going to find Dendi, but he blinks away.
Oh, will they? He pops a haste rune here, but that will be purged off immediately with the Fortune's End. So yeah, despite the blink out, they do manage to catch up and get that kill.
Dire's middle
So trying to go for that little bit more aggressive route, smoke into the jungle, find isolated pickups, catch Na'Vi on the back foot in order to kind of extend the game a little bit, keep Na'Vi away from tier 2s. That's something that the Chen would normally allow you to be able to do, right? Just win a team fight, win a skirmish, and then take not only tier 1s but tier 2s. And it's still rather early in the game, but we're slowly getting to that phase where the Chen creeps are maybe not as reliable anymore, especially if you're thinking about the Ember's Bird about to finish off his Metal Fury.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Na'Vi, they picked a lineup that benefits really well from getting in, getting early push, early map advantage, and as we shift into the mid-game, well, we're going to see that impact fade just a little bit. We're going to have an initiation here, a little rumble in the jungle as Sven goes up a little bit too close to Dire Heroes.
But then he's thinking about it. He's definitely thinking about it. Doesn't want to go in though. He doesn't. Firefly going, blinks across and finds the Witch Doctor instead. Ditchera comes in, just immediately nuked down.
Tested.
Chen with the test of faith there, doing a lot of work.
Yeah, that's just a clean pickoff for Na'Vi. Gonna keep putting them a little bit ahead. Taking a look at the net worth and gold graphs, it's still super close for 20 minutes in the game. Less than 1,000 net worth difference, just about 2k XP difference, but here we're gonna see the meatball getting dropped. It's gonna finish off some Chen creeps, but no heroes going down just yet.
At the very least, it'll keep them away from the tower. Duran caught by Mag, but still has the Quelling Blade, so it's proud not really locking him down. Pasha? Well, he sees him. There's a ton of creeps actually, but now a little bit of extra lockdown should do the trick, and now the Echo Slump committed. And that's the Ember's Bird going down just like that. You have to be so careful if you're Pasha. You can't afford these kind of missteps. And now, because now Na'Vi has the momentum going into the mid lane, even though they don't have a lot of Chen creeps available. They they just picked off one of the main damage dealers even now on the side of Vega.
We're gonna have the Witch Doctor just throwing out the cask to stall things out. The Forge
Seneko though, he fights him with a Nightmare. Kind of stopping him, and that's immediately into Vincere though. They want to get this kill, but now Solo comes in with the false promise. I keep forgetting the name of that. At the very least, that's down now. So hey, maybe if they can get a more juicy target with the lasso here, like no one, then that spell is not going to be available to save him.
Absolutely, we're just gonna have just Denti and the rest of Na'Vi trying to tease out skills from Vega. It's working a little bit. They got the Witch Doctor out of mana, but now just a clean back off and no towers for Na'Vi just yet. Meanwhile, we've got Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet in the jungle. General going in, catches him out with a fissure. I don't know if they can follow up, but Denti's here. He's got the force, he's got the blink, he's gonna go with the lasso, drags him forward into the fire. General waiting, doesn't want to kill him just yet, wants to secure Denti a little bit more farm. We're gonna see some more sticky napalms going out now. Vega. Looks like they're gonna lose their Nature's Prophet. This could turn bad though, as General gonna be taking the full force of a Death Ward to the face. General trying to TP out with a slice, but he gets caught out by the deafening blast from the Invoker. No one securing himself a kill. And that's gonna be the end of the initiation. They lose the Earthshaker, but they take out the Nature's Prophet.
General almost got out of that as well. I mean, no one kind of walking into the Enchant Totem to begin with, ensuring that they actually do get the kill on the Mac. That didn't happen. Maybe the tornado could have come out a little bit earlier. Mac would have had a little bit of extra time to get out. Well, General kind of doing his best there and almost got out alive. Props to him there. Yeah. At the same time, good rotation from Vega coming in at the right time to get a trade out of it. And well, no one can forget about this Invoker. He does have a Midas, not quite at the top of the net worth chart, but he's been keeping up with the Sven throughout this entire game here in the back of the Midas. Now has the Agnum Scepter available, so he will be able to quickly rotate through spells.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to help him out a ton going into the mid-game. And meanwhile, we've got Denti sitting 4th on the net worth chart, so he's very useful as an initiator, able to control the pace of the team fight just a little bit, but certainly his damage is just not as big as a Sven or an Invoker, so there's a lot riding on Sven's shoulders right now.
Kind of needs him to be able to swing and swing a lot. I mean, it doesn't have the damage from his ultimate. It does have the BKB now to make sure that Vega can't really lock him down at all. They just can try and run away with what mobility they have available to them. But yeah, if you think about it, what is that actually? You have with Nature's Prophet also going for that Agnum Scepter build. You have a Witch Doctor who doesn't get a whole lot as he's in that 4/5 position. Oracle also not going for a false stuff of any kind. All they really have is the inherent mobility from the Ember and any sort of saving potential that the Oracle can get you with a false promise. Apart from that, all they can really do is just try and run away. Oh god, top lane. They find Macius, Nick coming in. And even the Echo Slam committed here. Well, that Nature's Prophet deceptively tanky here, but they will end up being able to bring him down regardless.
Yeah, he was just standing there waiting for death as those trees expired. Seneko grabbing his 4th kill of the game. He's now sitting on a Gem of True Sight, so that Bane going to be very useful here, able to de-ward, make sure the Invoker can't go walk away if things go poorly. And well, how do you think Vega's going to respond to this? Do they have to target the Bane now?
Yeah, if you can get him, absolutely. I mean, he has the ability to take 2 heroes out of the fight very, very quickly and for a very long time between a Nightmare as well as the Fiend Script. And if one of these heroes is the Oracle, then he won't be able to interrupt any of that. So targeting the Bane, if you can get away with it, is not going to be bad strategy. At the same time, Na'Vi has so many other heroes that you have to worry about. Especially the Earthshaker, who now has a Shadow Blade, so that makes it harder even for Vega to see him coming at all. Let alone try and focus him down before he can get his spells off.
We've got a smoke here from Vega. Are they going to try to rotate in the pit here? Are they looking for blood? They could go into the Radiant Jungle, and in fact, they might find out Denti here.
Seema leading a charge now, switching to Solo, and they do find Seneko here, and that's exactly what I was talking about. That's Gem on the deck, and well, might be a Bane, but you're not a Night Stalker. You can't see over the trees with that gem.
Absolutely. Now we've got Solo sitting on the gem. That's going to be really, really nice for Vega. They can go through, they can de-ward all of the Radiant if they'd like to, and that's going to give them a lot of map control back.
Looks like they want to finish up The last remaining tier 1 tower. Danny though has other plans. He gets the lasso onto Pasha, into the loving arms of Gen Creed, but there's a tornado coming out, gives them enough time to ram them out, but Solo, look at him, one swipe from Ditcher almost brings him down. There's cars coming in, but Ditcher not stopped by that too much, does not have enough mana for another stun though, so he's just gonna have to try and get in range the old-fashioned way. 1, 2, can't quite blink after Seema to get the third deciding swipe in, and kind of the problem with the Chen, he can be kited quite easily. And now look at this. Pasha just being annoying, Sunstrike will hit too, so all of a sudden Vincere can't even feel comfortable continuing to fight here. They have to try and turn it around, try and not to lose all of the Chen creeps here, but at least that Centaur will be going down.
The poor little pony. There, in memorial. And we're gonna have just the Dire heroes. They're all feeling pretty healthy after that fight. They could rotate in for the second Rosh of the game if they wanted to.
Doctor ordered.
Well, Navi has smoke up. Might have a similar idea. Yeah, looks like they want to go straight into the Rosh pits. Right under the noses of Vega though. They catch wind of this. And they will. I mean, the fortress is coming in. Luckily for Navi, they didn't quite start attacking yet, so they're still all under the cover of the smoke. But now, one of the creeps will be revealed with no one blinking out, and maybe that's the space that Navi is looking for. They should be able to take it fairly quickly if they commit the God Strength from Sven, but
I think they're scared. They know the Invoker Forge Spirit is there. They know it's going to sniff them out as soon as they head into the pit, so they really don't want to give up any advantage here. As we do see, Navi, in terms of golden XP, they're teetering just above 0, so they could throw this with a bad fight.
Yep. This game has been exceptionally close here, and this is exactly what we saw in Dota Pit as well. Navi eventually were able to outplay Vega, but honestly, this is a kind of a Vega that we know that they can be. Right? It feels like they're on a good spot right now when it comes to.
We're going to see the Rosh finally come out. Ditcher hopping into the pit. He's going to be chunking it down relatively quickly. He does commit the God Strength for it, and I think Dire, they might know what's going on, but can they rotate quick enough to stop it? It's already at half health.
Well,
we see no one go in. Tornado.
Tornado MP comes out, it's only Ditcher and Artstall here. Dandy kind of trying to screen a little bit. But a bunch of trees coming in, but Roshan already down. Can they make the clean escape though? Tasha is there with a sleight of fist, but only finds Artstall, not exactly the kind of target in one go. Now sticks around for too long. Dandy catches him with the lasso, but there's the false promise keeping the save. Artstall will end up being bursted down. Yet the Aegis though, for some reason, I don't know, he's gonna be back. They didn't quite expect that, but Pasha, well, he's not getting caught out. He did have that safety remnant. Same time though, these other two heroes, Echo Slam on 2, and that'll bring them down just like that. Nice catch there from General with a follow-up for the rest of his team, and now we don't lose anything really.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Aegis.
Yeah, I don't know why Chen had the Aegis, but it definitely was the right decision there.
I think it was being creep blocked in. They had a Chen creep like right on top of it, so Ditcher couldn't get close enough to snatch it up for himself. But either way, Chen grabs the Aegis. It comes in very useful in that last fight. And Navi, they now have a huge advantage. They're going to take a tier 2, and it looks like Nature's Prophet's still down for 30 seconds. I don't think they're going to push further here, but you know, I've been proven wrong before.
Well, looks like they want to play it safe, take the other tier 2s if they can first, and now with the other 2 lanes kind of being pushed out heavily, don't want to commit too much, because you don't exactly know what kind of buyback status there is. Mag could have come back with an ultimate, doing that little bit of extra bit of burst damage that Navi couldn't have handled, so now playing it safe, and now no one isolated Blink, lasso, but there's a false promise, so he was ready for that, for sure.
Absolutely, Vega definitely playing some mind games. But here in the top lane,
he catches him, 4-step out, and yeah, there it is. Perhaps turnaround though. Ditcher wants to fight, gets a blink silence on no one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's all it takes, and they do get the Invoker after all.
That Moonshard feels really nice. Senna's hitting like an absolute madman. His attack speed is crazy right now, and that means he can consume it and pick up another item. This guy's almost 6-slotted. I think Ditcher, he's hit his peak at the moment. He can now go in with his team. He's incredibly strong. He hits hard. Well, there has to be follow-up, though. They gotta catch Vega out of position, and it looks like that might be the case here as Solo. He's gonna be going down. He does now have the Oracle ult on himself, but it's not enough to keep him alive for long. Earthshaker grabs the kill for that one, and Navi, is he looking for more? He's gonna go Firefly on some creeps, but Dire aren't gonna respond to this just yet.
Ditcher at the same time, he knows no fear. Doesn't have any mana to play with even. so it doesn't have that safety of a stun to be able to turn onto Pasha, but at the same time, that Ember Spirit, he does have, it's not like he has bad items, but it's just not enough right now to strike fear into Sven's heart, who has 21 armor, 2k max health to play with, and a moonshot, so if he does get a stun, if he does get any sort of disable, he's gonna be able to chop down through that Ember Spirit or anyone really on the side of Vega pretty damn fast. Now
Denti is ready to jump. He's waiting up here, he's on the high ground, he's gonna jump!
Does not quite get it. It's not quite get it, forced about, not quite across, and now EMP stops him, brings him down, pops a BKB even. It's not enough to bring him safe, and that's actually the gem on the deck too. He was not gonna be happy about that, being called out immediately like that, and that sends Navi back to base.
One night.
Oh,
yeah, it seems like Vega, they're gonna hold the high ground here for at least a little bit longer. We have General with that Shadow Blade, just kind of making a little bit of trouble for the Forged Spirits, but Vega, they feel comfortable holding high ground. They can clearly get pickoffs on Denti when they need to, and you know, can they continue to hold high ground indefinitely, or do they really need to split up and farm?
To hold high ground, I think they can actually. Ember Spirit is getting close to the point where he can more 1 or 2 shot creep waves with a Sleight of Fist. And if you look at the map and if you look at the Nature's Prophet, it looks like he wants to go maybe straight for the refresher now, with the Perseverance picked up. So he's doing a lot of free spawning, and that's exactly why we saw top tier 2 going down while Navi was coming down mid. So we're starting to see that effect of Nature's Prophet. Even though he can't split push himself, he goes for a build where if Navi commits on one lane, he can push out the other lanes from the safety of his own base. So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
something that Navi has to try and deal with somehow, either by picking him up or by pushing the lanes out far enough and then booster traveling to another lane or something.
Don't know if you mentioned it before, but Shen has his Ags pick up, so we've got Ancients on the field. The Black Dragon's obviously incredibly useful for pushing. Their little fire squirt is incredible, and here in the top lane, well, it's just going to be a battle of the pushers as Ember Spirit pops in, but immediately heads back out as Dityara makes himself known.
Yep. That's another thing that they can do, just split push with Ember Spirit, not necessarily the Nature's Prophet, but just Ember, teleporting in, getting rid of a creep wave, and then coming right back with a Remnant. He doesn't have any sort of defensive items though, so he has to be very careful. He has to be very wary of Navi's positioning across the map if he wants to go for that kind of play. But for now, Navi looking to take down the last remaining tier 2. Still at full health up in the top lane. And yeah, with mid laners pushing in. It's one of the harder lanes for Vega to take advantage of. And now actually Navi looks like they might want to wrap around completely and maybe catch someone on a retreat. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
but we've got Vega pushing in. They're all going to be here clumped up in the Radiant jungle. We've got Mag in lane pushing the creeps out, but I don't know if they want to sacrifice their tier 2 here. As Dityara, he's smacking on it in the top lane, and it's going down fast.
Yep. Navi, they're not really phased. Looks like they might want to sacrifice their tier 2 if they can make pressure happen on tier 3 at the same time. They don't even feel like they need to go high ground themselves to force them back. They see solo, they see Passion and they see no one, sorry, defending this push, and that means that, well, they can just claim the map control that they've just gained themselves.
Absolutely. So Navi, it looks like they all want to group up, they all want to push. They've got General here, invised up, looking for a pick. In fact, they could find the Ember. If Pasha pushes out a little bit far, he could get caught out here. Vincire's now just slightly out of range, so he's gonna go back to sitting in the trees.
This is one of these cheeky plays, though, from General. He's just sitting there, waiting for an opportunity to come in. Might be sitting there for 1 or 2 minutes before he decides to get out, but just having the potential to pretty much solo kill someone out of nowhere can really catch you off guard if you're Vega. Solo, yeah, he might be susceptible to that. General sees him now, but there's a sentry coming out. Oh man, Solo knew. I guess he knew with both that he saw General that he barely brushed with death there and unable to catch him. Fortunately for General, so he does get out, but gotta watch out for these kind of plays, man. Gotta watch out.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
even though Vega, they don't get a kill right there. Okay, we've got double Daedalus coming out. I love this. Right at the same time, too. Sven and Ember Spirit now going to be critting like madmen. I love that pickup, but who's going to hit harder, I think is the question.
Dityara I would say him actually if he gets his ultimate off. It's at this point level 3, 200% bonus damage. So that's a lot of things. That's a lot of deeps. And Emersburg,
Absolutely.
Well, he does have the crits, but doesn't have
Oh,
the... Oh god,
we're gonna
there.
see
1,
the battle
2,
here.
3.
Get your boss, slaps him down. 3 hits there for that Sven, taking down a full health Ember Spirit. Well, that answers the question once and for all. Dityara now pops that war cry. He's rushing up. He's ready to fight. We are gonna see some initiation here as General's gonna take a tornado EMP to the face, walking through that ice wall. Gonna be taking a Sunstrike to the head now. Earthshaker still feeling relatively healthy. Art style has those Guardian Greaves. Now Dityara, the God Strength runs out, and there's going to be an Oracle and a Witch Doctor defending this high ground, but it looks like Dityara doesn't even care.
No, he doesn't. He has the BKB, he has 3k health points to play with now, with the armlets activated now. Tornado MP doesn't pop the BKB for it, so there's a lot of his fighting potential, so just gonna retreat for now, wait for next rebirth perhaps, before they go in again, but yeah, I mean, that was 1500 crit from Dityara, and Emersburg, he does not have buyback. It's kind of a big thing, right? If their big carries down for the counts, what do you do? I mean, sure, you have an Invoker who now has an Octarine Core, so he does have a little bit lower cooldown, a little bit hard to actually deal with, but if you mention dodge spells, he's still not going to be able to throw out those same spells again. And that's very significant if you're thinking about that big control factor of the Tornado EMP.
Well, we've got a smoke here from the Dire. They're rotating and they want to find something. Looks like they might find General. They're going to go in. He disjoints the stun there, trying to TP out. He does not get away. Now General's going to be falling here. He does end up going down to the Invoker. And that's a big kill. That's just something. Vega are getting something out of the map, which is just so crucial at this point.
Yep. With all the talk about how farm Sven is, you must not forget they haven't been able to break high ground yet. And there's still an Emersburg on the field who might not be able to man-fight Sven, but he will be able to kite him around if he's careful, if he builds a Lincoln Sphere, which I would definitely like to see on Pasha right now, just be able to dodge all that kind of bullshit that can catch him out, or at least a lot of it. But if this goes late, he might be able to just 1 or 2 shot the guys in the backline on the side of Na'Vi, and Sven without any support is just half as good.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I do think there's going to be a finite window, and what it's coming down to right now is, can Sven go in and just absolutely slap down all the members of Vega, or is he going to get locked down? Because if it comes down to Ember versus Sven, I think Na'Vi have a lot of ways to lock down the Ember. They've got the Bane Nightmare, the Fiend's Grip, they've got the Sven Stormhammer, they've got the Batrider Lasso, but what does Vega really have to lock down a Sven long term? They've got a Witch Doctor Cask maybe, an Invoker Tornado. I'm not seeing the incredible single target lockdown that you need to stop a Sven in his tracks.
That is true. I mean, that's where you would have maybe wanted to have that cheap stick on Nature's Prophet instead of the Refresher Orb, or even on the Invoker instead of the Octarine. You can still go for that, of course, now, to have that available to you later. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right now, there's... If Dityara, we've seen it before, if he can get on top of someone, then there's not a whole lot Vega can do about it. Just as simple as
Take
that.
a look at the net worth chart right now. It's actually dipping in Vega's favor. I think if they hold this way long game, Ember Spirit can outfarm the Sven. But again, it comes down to, can they keep their base up? If racks fall, I don't know if Vega have the creep clear to deal with this. Nature's Prophet, yeah, he can clear it out a little bit, but I mean, those creeps are just going to keep coming. That's going to make it harder and harder for him to rat out the lanes. We've got a third Roche attempt. Here we go.
Tornado comes in, catches Dityara, but no one else is really there from Vega. Not with the invis, with the DMP, just to be able to be just try and be a little bit annoying, but won't be able to do much about the Roshan going down. The cheese, as well as the armlet, dropped on the ground, so... Well, Dityara with the Aegis. Oh god, they're gonna go in here. Maybe try and trigger it immediately, but now BKB comes out, no one caught. There's the false promise, keeping him safe for the time being. Meanwhile, back Pasha looking to clean up, and Snake in general, they're almost soloing him here now, and they are in fact doing exactly that. Solo at the same time now caught. No more defensive capabilities, and that's 2 for nothing so far. Not even the Aegis trigger. They do catch Mag with the Nightmare at the edge. And oh, yeah, nice little play there with the tree and taking it off, but he should still end up falling here. Then the Seneko not style. They even commit the last to make absolutely sure that this Nature's Prophet ends up falling. And what's the trade-off? No one. He just said, fuck it, I'm not joining that fight anymore. I'm just getting out. Just soaking some experience here. That was just... I mean, I like the idea of Vega going in like that. Oh god.
Oh, we're not done here. Seneko gets tornadoed up, definitely blast into the meatball. He's gonna glimmer cape himself up, but there's just not enough damage to keep him down.
He's fine. Just relax. He's fine. It's a bait. You don't just kill a Bane like that.
You don't just kill a Bane. No one is in absolute no man's land here. He's in the Radiant jungle completely alone. He's got a little bit of vision here on the Radiant heroes, but needs to be very, very careful. Those boots of travels are going to be on off cooldown in just a couple of seconds. But he's going here onto his Sven. All alone. Is he insane? Now Ditya, he wants to turn this. He's going to get cold snapped up. He goes in Stormhammer, disjointed by a Blink Dagger. No one. He's running, and he's got the Ice Wall slow enough Ditya, and Ditya's down to about half health, but he does not have mana for the ult. There's still an Aegis here, so no one. He takes control of the lane, but he's got to get out now before the Radiant rotate in to punish this. He's going to Ghost Walk himself up, rotating in. He might get bumped into here by the Sven, but I don't think there's any sentry vision. Now no one. He's going in with another tornado. It catches up the Sven again. EMP going in. He's going to get very, very low now. Ditya might have to pop the Aegis. He's almost clean out of mana from that last EMP, and no one finally going to be heading out, using those boots of travels to head home. That is space created if I've ever heard of it.
It was such a weird exchange. Ditya was just shrugging everything off. I mean, it would have had the BKB available at any point to try and turn us around, but recognizing that, at least for the first Stormhammer that he did, recognizing that that was going to be dodged with a blink from bo1, so he didn't want to pop the BKB prematurely and just keeping it for when he absolutely needs it. So, but yeah, well, no one. If he got caught there by the Bane, then that would have been a little bit different, and that would have turned from space creation into a casual feed. But as it stands, no one. He's doing what he can do right now as the Invoker. Just be super annoying. Make sure to keep Navi away from the base, which is what it still comes down to. Right? As long as you hold high ground, you do have a chance. Because you talked about the network graph earlier, and even dipping into favor of Vega a little bit. And if you look at the distribution, actually. Ditya shows at the top, but the 3 following heroes are on Vega. And if you look at Navi's lineup, yeah, the Sven is a really good carry, but he's the only carry. Whereas if you look at Vega, you do not just have the Ember Spirit for the raw damage output, you also have the Nature's Prophet, who, well, granted he's not really going for he hasn't really gone for the fighting build. Instead for the kind of tree and apocalypse build, but he can, if he wants to, if the game goes long enough, he can build into some right-click items, some extra control items. You do have the Invoker, who now is a Sheepstick as well to contribute, and a lot of control, a lot of damage still.
Yeah, I was going to mention that Sheepstick pickup. I think we talked earlier about, how do you lock down a Sven for long enough to take him out of a team fight, and, well, that's how. We are going to see Seneko here. He's invised up. He does spot out no one. Now Deadly here.
Him. The blaster comes out, Seneko's there as well, with the free script to follow. General too, and that is not something that you can afford. I mean, it does have buyback, but as I said before, you have to be super, super careful going for these kind of plays without knowing where Navi are. And now, Ditya at the same time just solo killed solo, fittingly enough. Now might even catch Seema there if he shows himself, but no cooldown on. Oh, there is still cooldown on Stormhammer, so could have locked him down. But yeah, that should be actually a buyback forced out or tier 3 instead of Rax. One or the other. Vega buyback. Mac comes to join the fight. Not a whole lot he can do on his own. No one. Misses the tornado. Not a good start now. Stun comes out with both. EMP takes away all of Sven's mana, so he's not gonna have another stun for a long time. And also doesn't have the guarding creeps either. But Ditya doesn't care. He chops away at the range tracks. Deafening Blast will stop that from happening for now, though. That's on strike, will miss in the back. Sprouts come out left, right, and center just to be annoying, just to keep Ditya there. That's the Aegis actually expiring. But the healing effect will be triggered by Pasha. Will be interrupted by Pasha, I should say, before Sven can really gain too much mana. So it looks like Navi will call it quits for now. Might actually catch General here. Or do they? That might actually be a bait the other way around. Pasha caught with the fish, and then he's there with the lasso. Drags him across. Ninja actually, he goes in deep and caught with the hacks. There's no follow-up though. There is now perhaps from everything. Ninja was just trying to find someone who's got inside the sprout. There's so much damage, he just doesn't seem to care. It's entire death board. He's being sent back, but didn't even think they needed that. So we were down for 1 at the side. And actually, it might have been a big misplay there from Chen, sending the Sven back to base. Now try to TP to a lane, but that creep got wrecked. Now Neko also falls into triple kill for no one on the back of what should have been a dominating fight for Na'Vi.
Yeah, that was a fun little Sunstrike kill to watch there. We've got 2 gems on the deck. They're Dyers if they want to grab them, but now we're just going to see some more push here as Vega, they want to grab some map advantage. They're going to go for the tier 2, which I think is the correct play, but do they go here for the high ground? I don't know if they can fight Na'Vi on their own turf.
Yeah. Well, they definitely want to force out some buybacks if they can. I mean, there's Yoshik and Sven to deal with, even without the buyback from Saneko now, and that can be dangerous enough if you group up for a good Echo Slam or something like that, especially wrong. Some nutrients available, so they're just gonna try and do a little bit of jab damage, see if they find an opening, but failing that, they're just gonna go back, try and play it safe. Once again, keep Na'Vi away. Take what you get, but don't overcommit. That is still the Vega's road to win this game.
Absolutely, they need to go in, they need to keep finding pickoffs on Na'Vi and stopping them in their tracks if they can hold their high ground up for much longer. Well, this is going to continue to be a very even game. Looking at the golden net worth charts, net worth is almost touching 0 at 50 minutes in the game. That's one of the closest games I've seen to date.
Yep. Experience is a bit of a different story, well in favor of Na'Vi actually. And, well, does it matter all that much? Yeah, if you think about it, it is not the level 3 ultimate on the Witch Doctor.
Oh, initiation!
Or the Oracle. Oh god, they find Solo. Well, it's an Oracle, but at the same time, if you take away that ultimate for 60 seconds, you just
pops
have...
like a bubble.
It's funny to watch. I mean, you know he's doomed. But it just
General.
goes from top to 0. Oh,
He
god,
wants to find something.
He's blocking off the Witch Doctor, and doesn't quite have the... I'm kind of expecting some sort of counter there, but not the case. So just let him live. Throwing the bow, maybe a little bit worried about the bottom lane as well. Being pushed in by Fort Spirits as well as Treants, and yeah, this tier 3 actually dropping very low. There's 2 catapults also joining the mix. And yeah, they are actually on the road of equalizing the objective advantage if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
catapults
Vega...
were on the Radiant side, so I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Well, Vega do have the opportunity to split push. We are going to see Pasha come into lane, just popping out that Sleight of Fist, taking out pretty much all of the Radiant Creep Wave, and they also have got the Nature's Prophet, who now has the Aghanim Scepter, he's got the Refresher completed, and the Octarine. This guy has been getting a lot more farm than I thought, but now Pasha, he's going to get initiated on Echo Slam is blown. Does he have a Remnant? He's going to hop away to safety. I can't lock him down for long enough.
God, I didn't even see him there. Oh.
It was in the bottom lane, don't worry. It's okay. Nothing really happened. Top lane though, we've got a pick here onto Denti. Looks like no one going to be trying to go in. There's an Ice Wall called down. He is going to be very, very low. He's trying to force out himself to safety. One more hit will do it. Can he get out? Yes, that's right. He goes through.
Sunroad perhaps though with the Fiend's Grip here. Plenty of wraparounds on the side of Na'Vi. They do catch no one on the back. Remember, that's a guy who bought back early. He's down for the count for 100 seconds. So now that might actually be the chance for Na'Vi to come back in. Then he bought back for this as well. So it shows that they want to make something work right the hell now. Perhaps just take Roshan into another high ground push. But the problem is right now, apart from top lane, no creep wave is actually pushed in all that far. Not all of them have boots of travel to get back up there. Right now it's only Dijara who's kind of slowly made his way here.
Ember going in, does get the shackles here onto Denti, but not really going to connect on that. The Searing Chains, they're burning him down, but they don't have the follow-through. There's going to be a Hex picked up on the Chen. I like this pickup a lot, but is he going to get close enough into these fights to actually get it off on a key target?
Absolutely, I mean, he's just going to walk in there with using his creeps as a shield, more or less. And that's all you can do as a Chen right now. I mean, the heal is not going to be as effective anymore. So you need to use something else. You need to get in range for the blast to take effect. Now, might actually see the last team fight coming into play without the Invoker for another 40 seconds here, and want to try and slow down Digera as much as they can, which is chopping away at this tier 3 tower. Dendy always with the threat of the Blink Blast, and there it is. They do get it on solo. They didn't have an ultimate available anyway, even if you wanted, but that's another hero down. That's the Axe on the Seamer. If he goes down too, that could almost spell doom for Vega, but the Flame Wreck pushes him back instead. Just keep them away, just take the racks, go straight for the middle lane here. They did soften up earlier too. There's 2 sets of racks going down for sure before no one can come back.
This is the last stand for Vega. They know it's the last stand. We're gonna have the Death Ward pop down, but it barely tickles Sven. He's now gonna be Glimmer caped up, getting out safely. Mag does find him out though, but there's the blink out of the little sprouts, and I don't know if Vega can chase fast enough to catch him. We got General here, invised up, has the Fissure, has the Echo Slam if he needs to use it.
I think they could turn this around with Pasha actually if they wanted to, but with the rest of Vega kind of joining in, there would have been a better chance to play to say the least. But well, Vega kind of knife in the gut right now with 2 racks down. Now, this is the last straw, this Royal Champ. They should be able to get it without Navi being able to interfere. That being said, they're not taking it particularly fast, so Navi's making their way in now. We do have General, that might be a dunk if he wants to go for it. No, please, be Universe. Be Universe.
Not yet.
Man. Not
Tornado
today.
though.
Alright.
That is a long tornado. It goes through, doesn't catch out anyone, but now no one's here. He's gonna get sheep sticked up by Art Style. Not Dendy's here. Is gonna go and uses the BKB. There's gonna be a stun up from the Sven. They're trying to get him down. They've got the Oracle ult, trying to keep no one alive for as long as possible. Echo Slam comes through. Crazy damage. Deafening Blast. We've got Shoe Gems on the deck. And now Ditya running around looking for something, but we're not done with the action here as Mag. He's in the fight. No one coming back in as well. Art Style's a pick, and no one gets burned down. Triple kill for Ditya. Now Mag gonna be nightmared up. I think they're gonna get him as well. I think this might be it. I don't know if Ember Spirit's big enough to control this.
2 gems on deck once again, and only Pasha, 1 man left standing. And man, that was actually a good fight for Vega. They got the false promise off on the Invoker, kind of drawing a lot of attention there from Navi, but they just felt too strong. They had too much sustain here between the Chen and Vega. They couldn't focus what little damage they had on the targets that they needed to. The Ember Spirit, yeah, if you look at him, he was able to stay alive, but Navi, they're not quite worried about him. Also with the Walker, it's not something that we've talked about, but it's something that's very, very useful up against the Sleight of Fist as well. It's just negating so much of that damage, and without any big damage items to counteract that, it's just
this is it.
No
Last
joy for
stand.
him. And yeah, no one caught once again with the lasso. He's gonna fall. Pasha trying to do what he can. Max up again with the Death Ward. There will be interrupted. Snake is the only man to fall. Ditya actually though, caught within the Sprout, caught with Sheep, so he might actually fall here. And yeah, he realizes that. That's almost 1400 gold going the way of Solo. Not sure if they can make too much out of that though, as they did lose their last set of racks. That particular team fight. They're up against Megas. They don't actually have the best lineup to deal with that. They don't have a Medusa or anything of the sort. Sure, they have an Ember, but
yeah.
it's
I think if
just
any
feels
lineup
very hard.
could come back against Mega Creeps, Vega have got the resources to do it. They've got the Invoker and the Nature's Prophet and the Ember Spirit. All of them have pretty good creep clear, but just, you know, stats don't lie. There's such a high win rate. I think it's close to like 95-96% for comeback against Mega Creeps. You don't do it, and usually if you see it done, it's almost immediately after. Usually there's like a team fight where the last Rax goes down, but then the holding team ends up pushing in right away afterwards, and I don't think Vega are going to win this if they stall out. They've got to get in the base now, and well, we're going to have Sven coming back up in 45 seconds. He also has buyback if he needs it. I don't think they can lock him down a second time.
Biggest problem for Vega is that they're lacking the Invoker. He's down without buyback for another 40 seconds, and with that you're missing such a huge control component. But they're still, as you said, they have to go for it now. They have to leverage what they have, which is the Divine Rapier on the Ember Spirit. This is about as desperate as it gets for Vega now in this particular game. Dendy, well, this pops the Lincolns.
I love Divine Rapiers. It makes the game just that much more intense, but again, I think that's kind of a YOLO Divine Rapier here. Obviously, Ember does really well with it, but Vega, they've got to get something done now, or their base is going to get pushed. Take a look at the net worth and XP charts. We've got like a weird little snake climbing up there, so it is still in Navi's favor, but certainly Vega have shown that there's definitely some signs of life, and they want to turn this around.
This net worth graph just shows the story of the game. And story of these teams as well. I mean, also in the games that they've had before, it looked very similar. For the longest time, the gold advantage never went past 4K mark, or not much anyway. And just with like this, one of these kind of late game Dota trades, right? You lose 1 or 2 team fights and you lose your racks and everything. With that, a 10k advantage from Na'Vi. That being said, though, we're approaching 60 minutes in, so even that doesn't actually end up mattering all that much, because you have all the levels on the supports even, and you have all the items even on the supports, like these big core items, even the Aghanim Scepter on the Witch Doctor, which hasn't really done as much as they needed it to this game, just because of that big extra armor that they get from the Sven as well as the Vlads on Hardstyle. Do they
Yes.
have they don't have as a Soul Kuras, but then you might be building into that now.
Sven is now 7 slotted. He's got the refresher orb on his stash, maybe trying to rotate that in. And well, how does Vega come into this? Do they just try to hold their base once again, or do they need to go in and be the initiators?
I think they can initiate. If they initiate, then they don't have to burst to bring someone down. That's kind of the problem. They just have to try and hope that Na'Vi overextends, maybe with Dandy blinking a little bit too far, unable to get the lasso off, and then turn around that, blow that guy up when it comes to you, and then brace for impact essentially with the follow-up from Na'Vi. Try and survive that as much as you can. Try and kite the Sven, leave him for last.
Try and kite the Sven, but this guy is enormous. He's top of the net worth chart by like a huge margin. He's 7 slotted. He's got another 5k gold in the bank. He has buyback if he needs it. They gotta lock this guy down like 6 times to really take him down. He has the BKB as well. It's only 5 charges, but he can definitely make use of that. Another gem picked up by Oracles. We have like 6 gems in this game.
Oh, that's a good question.
We need a gem count going on.
Yeah, I'm counting 2 in the inventories, 1 by either team. And Courier, well, there's another one on the Radiant side, Courier. I don't see anyone on the base. So yeah, we have 3 gems on the field right now.
They're desperately trying to hold their base, but Mega Creeps are so strong. They need to focus their attention on the lanes and the heroes and rotations all at once. It might just be too much for Vega. In fact, I think if Na'Vi decide to go in for the final strangling push, they can definitely get it done in the next 5 minutes, but the call might be to wait for Roche.
Yep. Well, it's just a call if you want to go super safe. I mean, the Sven is not gonna die quickly. You can pretty much know that much, but just having a little bit of extra safety on wrestle heroes like Earthshaker or Dandy, just General or Dandy, just making sure that they get the spells off no matter what. That should be kind of the way to go for Na'Vi. Yeah, for Vega, the game is just incredibly hard right now.
Oh no,
God,
here it
Blink,
is.
Lasso onto Mac, but there's a false promise. Stopping that in tracks, but yeah. Ult for ult trade, if you will. Similar cooldowns, but Na'Vi have more than one way to initiate, so they actually... That's a very low cooldown, false promise. At level 3, 30 seconds, I kind of forgot about that, as I don't always see Oracle get that many levels.
I think this fight's going to come down to how much can the Ember Spirit get done, because he's critting like an absolute maniac. That's going to be definitely in the quadruple digits. But if he gets popped at the beginning of the fight, I think Vega just tap out.
Absolutely.
He has buyback once, but I think if Na'Vi can lock him down the first time, they can get him the second time. But Pasha, he's smoked up. He wants to get something. He needs to keep the farm train rolling. But Na'Vi are doing such a good job making Vega scared, keeping them on their toes, preparing for the next initiation.
The nature of the rapier means that buyback doesn't even matter all that. Look at Suneko though. Sunstrike barely missing. Didn't quite expect him to take that much damage, but well, a lot of creeps there next to him, plus the crits, and now Blink lasso onto Solo. They have the false promise on himself, and now, oh, nice tornado catches him. Ditcherod just at the edge, keeping Solo alive. What that? Before he gets one shot, that is. Deport from the higher ground, but that will be interrupted by the sheepstick. And this might be the very last fight here. No one trying to get himself out of there. Same for Macri. He pops his ultimate, pops another one, perhaps after the refresher. Just try and keep them away, trying to do a little bit of damage there. Pasha still alive, but now running back to base, and well, they lost the Oracle, but they didn't do a lot of damage to Na'Vi. they're still very much alive and in fighting shape, save for some ultimates that are not going to come back on cooldown for quite a while, but they do have that god strength from Sven, and it looks like they want to end this here. They want to go for the towers, no one stopping that from happening though. Dejara is out of mana, out of BKB time, now has to be forced them back. The rest of Na'Vi, you have to pick up slack now, no one, sheeped up. Now, Dandy comes in to try for lasso if you just had it. Another couple of seconds of cooldown for looks of it. Now Pasha comes in, tries to help, but Mac will be the sacrificial lamb. And it's
GG.
Yeah, it's just too much. Too
There's
many mega
so
creeps.
much
GG well
fire
played,
in the face right now.
Oh,
but it is going to go the way of Na'Vi. They take this besto on serious. We've got another coming up though.
Yeah, that is kind of the kind of the best news I can give you right now after 60 minutes slugfest here. Na'Vi repeating their performance with Dota Pit. They do best Vega. It was pretty damn close. It just felt like Vega needed a little bit of extra in the mid game just to be able to lock down